Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live, Season 3, Episode 14, Mavic Air 2, and Fimi X8 SE 2020 updates. Marcus, how are you this evening?
Doing real good, Bill. Man, I ventured out into the jungle today. I went to the grocery store.
Oh, that is the jungle.
Yeah. All masked up and ready to go.
Virus-free.
Virus-free.
Virus-free. So that went well? You're okay? You survived?
Yeah, loaded up. We survived. You know, the next 14 days will tell the story.
Did you, on the way back, did you stop and get tested on the way home?
No, I wish.
Okay.
I wish you could.
Ron, how are you this evening?
Well, you're doing good. I didn't venture out any place dangerous like Marcus. I don't. No, well, I shouldn't say that. I had to drop a package off at the post office, and there were people there, but they had lines of tape 6 feet apart, and you had to wear a mask or whatever. So we were all following, the governor's rules to the letter. So practicing safe distance, wearing masks, and they have big old plastic at the post office. So you kind of hand your package underneath the plastic to the the worker there. So I'll give him more information if anybody wants to know. But no, I'm doing well today. I had a little bit of a bug over the weekend, like kind of a cold bug or whatever. And I'm still not 100% over that, but it's nothing to do with the coronas because I can. My lungs, I can breathe good. I don't have a dry cough or I don't have any symptoms of that. But anyway, so I'm looking forward to the show tonight. I mean, Bill teased the Mavic Air 2. I keep wanting to say mini. Mavic Air 2. He teased the Fimi X8 2020, but he didn't tease the Mavic 3, which, hey, Kessler said was coming.
Yeah, I
whatever.
heard that. Well,
so, yeah. So we got
I got something
tonight. And I'm going to throw it back to Bill and let him get into the meat of this episode. And hopefully our friend Lauren pops in later on.
Yes, we're hoping Lauren's going to
confirm some of these rumors.
Well, one thing, I want to start the show off with a little bit of humor tonight, okay? Now, it's like we can all use a good laugh here, all right? So I'm going to share my screen here for a second. I saw this meme from one of my friends in high school, and I said, this is just too good to pass up. So I'm going to start this off, and I hope everybody gets it. What concert is 45 cents? 50 Cent and Nickelback. Okay, I mean, seriously, it's just like have a nice little laugh here. I mean, I saw that it's one of my friends from high school. She's wonderful, and she has all these corny jokes all the time. And this was and this kind of like topped it off. I thought it was pretty good, and I thought it was kind of appropriate here.
And you threw the cats in for free.
That's right. Well, I got you beat on the post office, Ron. You know what I did?
What'd you do?
I got out onto USPS.com, and they picked up my packages on my front porch.
Oh, wow. You're good. You prepaid.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I did. I sold a couple things on eBay, and we're sending something to my in-laws. So we just put them on the front porch, and boom, they picked them up.
Now, Bill, I had a thought about it. I'm jumping you way off topic here, but I thought about stuff. I haven't been listing anything on eBay because I figured, well, with everybody out of work at times being so tough, it would be a bad time to try to sell anything on eBay. Am I wrong on that?
Oh, you're wrong. People are buying stuff left and right.
Oh, wow.
Especially, what the thing is now, and I'm off topic for a second, but if you have like old hair cutting kits, they're flying off the shelves right now. So.
Okay.
And barbers are charging $50 an hour to advise you on how to cut your hair online.
Can you get a Zoom hair appointment where they talk you through it?
They talk you through it. Yeah. All right. We're digressing here. All right. And I don't mean to digress too much. We got a lot to talk about tonight. It's a pretty jam-packed show. And as you know, recently, one of the things that's caught a lot of our attention has been the Fimi X8 SE 2020. Now, I know Marcus has hit the buy button. Yours truly has hit the buy button. Ron, we're waiting for you, my friend.
Well, I don't want to give up any secret information, but wink, wink, nod, nod. I'm waiting on one of you guys to send me that new link that we were discussing today.
You know what, Marcus? You know what I bet? I bet Ron he's under an NDA with Fimi, and he's been testing it, and he's holding out on us.
Well, no, I'm gonna go you one step better, Bill. Well, I think he probably has more than the 2020 version of it. He probably has the Fimi X8 SE Pro 2020.
Yeah,
But
it's probably in another color. It's probably in black. Okay,
is that Pro going to be equal to the famous Zino 2 Pro?
It's probably a Hexacopter.
Oh, so I can pretend like I had a unique product with me. Candano's a favorite brand of Quadcopter's unique brand. But no,
Yes.
to your question is, Ron here, he's keeping his money in his pocket, waiting for that Mavic Air too.
Well, that's going to be coming sooner rather than later, and that's
a good thing I held the money in the pocket, huh?
Oh yeah, it is a good thing that you held your money in your pocket. Before we get into some things here, I'm going to go ahead, and I haven't had a chance to acknowledge people for a while, and haven't done that, so we're going to get into that here. Floyd Motes is here, Daniel Termina, Zachary Key, Drone Shots, Stephen Ewing. How are you, my friend? Jaybird's here, Grumpy Vlogger, Lloyd, welcome tonight. Michael Wright, Douglas is here. Canadian Drone Pilot is here. Let's see who else here. Darren K, Ian Fleming, welcome tonight. David, welcome tonight. Drone Addict is here. Okay, all right. Just wanted to go ahead and acknowledge that. Now,
hey, Bill,
yes, sir.
Did you see David's comment up there? He's asking about when we think the X8 SE 2020 will actually ship. And I think what the best answer for that is don't hold your breath. I mean, they're saying like May 15th, right? If you have it by July, be happy. And maybe we'll get them earlier, maybe.
Okay. That's a real good point, Marcus. And that was something that I wanted to thank you for bringing that up, because one of the things that's kind of a key here with all of this, it's coming from Banggood's U.S. warehouse. All right. Now, there was a discussion that went on in my Fimi Facebook group today, which was a real good one. And somebody brought up a good point. Like, if they all come to the warehouse, okay, they all don't have to be, there's no tariff, there's no customs inspect. I mean, it's all done, okay? That's done ahead of time. So when it's here, it's like it goes out from that U.S. warehouse. Now, I was on a chat with Banggood. They really couldn't tell me where their U.S. warehouse was. I was kind of curious on that. But the one thing I can say is this. I won't say I'm as certain as I am about the Mavic Air being in the country, but I would make a bet. I'm probably about 80% sure that it's already sitting in those U.S. warehouses, and it's just waiting for a release. Now, I also noticed today, too, that there were 947 pre-orders of the X8 SE 2020 when you go out onto Banggood's site, and it lists that there. Now, I had a number of questions from a number of people, not only from my videos that I put out, but out on my forum. So I've pinged Fimi, and I finally got some answers back. So I wanted to go ahead and share those with you. Now, the first one is really interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here again. We don't want to see that cat meme again, so we're gonna take care of that. Now, one of the questions was about the sensor for the camera. All right, and what was real interesting was they came back and said sensor 1/2.6 inch CMOS. Okay, and then I had, let me see here. Okay, I had a gentleman who emailed me today on the group, and it said they wrote on the group, the processor is from the Fimi Palm. So this Fimi X8 2020 will be worse than the Fimi X8 2018. I'm not so sure about that. But, gentlemen, it sounds like basically Ron has the camera all ready for the Fimi X8
Bill, can I tell you something?
Yes, sir. Go for it.
If it's the camera from the Fimi Palm here, this is a much better camera than what was on the Fimi X8 2018 edition. This camera is much superior than what I had on drone. I've already, taken the F-Log from this into Final Cut Pro, and I've, played with the color wheels and everything. Saw the dynamic range is better than what I saw from doing the same testing with the camera in the X8 2018 edition. So this camera would be an upgrade over what we currently have on the current edition in
Yeah.
my scientific lab testings.
Well, and you can see from your video, and I watched your video today, Ron. That video from there was stellar. Okay, it was sharp, it was crisp, it was clear. It was stable when you were walking. I was pretty impressed with that. I mean, for what you're getting, and I'm saying bang for the buck kind of thing here, but no, I was real impressed with what I saw today from the video from that. And if that is indeed the camera, which it really sounds like it is, I mean, that's going to make this even more of a value. Marcus, what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, obviously, Ron can speak to that better because he has seen both. He had my 2018 X8 for a while, and now he has the Palm in hand. And yeah, I mean, just from what I saw, looking at like just what you just said, Bill, I thought the video was very impressive. From what we saw on Ron's video today. I actually have ordered that Palm as well and got the email today that it's shipped. So
awesome.
I hope to have that in hand pretty soon.
Yeah, I'll look forward to your, we'll look forward to your videos too.
This too. This also would be better than, the our beloved Zino 2, because this handles the sun and the exposure much better than the Zino 2 does at this point. Now, it's not to say the Zino 2 won't be improved with firmware upgrades to where it does handle the exposure better, but right now, this handles you looking towards the sun and the bright light better than the Zino 2 camera.
Definitely, most definitely. Now, one of the big things that one of the big questions that I had been getting a lot was about this Fimi Care. And apparently what I found out was, okay, let's go ahead and I'll move it over to a slide here. Okay, apparently I don't have that slide. But basically what the slide said was, when I asked them about Fimi Care, what they basically told me was to check with Banggood. So apparently Fimi Care is something that Banggood is offering and not coming from Fimi themselves. So which I find kind of interesting. Here we're getting something from the retailing arm of Fimi here, Banggood, that is, supposedly kind of like, you want to call it, like DJI Care Refresh kind of a thing, at a pretty inexpensive price. I mean, it sounds good, but my question and my direct question to them was, for those of us that have already purchased it, is that something we can purchase again? And again, the same answer came back, check with Banggood. So I'm going to be sending some emails to Banggood to find out. And as soon as I get an answer on that, I'm going to get back to everybody. The other thing was, those were like two of the really big questions regarding this. Now, the other one is about the shipping. And I think we just kind of touched on that, because, this isn't coming from China. In fact, it's interesting. I had a gentleman who joined the group today, and he pinged me on Facebook, and he lives in Thailand. And he said he's going to order it from the U.S., although it'll take him a month to get from the U.S. over to Thailand. But what he said was, at that kind of a price, he said, how can I go wrong with that? Okay. He says, I just have to be patient and waiting for it. So, I think we're going to see this a whole lot sooner than we saw the Zino 2. I don't think we're going to have the hassles that we had with this. And I really think it's kind of sitting over here already. I think it's already sitting in boxes and it's just waiting for the date. I mean, and what I think they're waiting to do is I think they're waiting to hit a threshold. When Banggood finally gets a certain threshold, a number of units sold, it'll probably be released even earlier. That's my 2 cents worth with all this.
So you're saying that they're already assembled and in the box and ready to ship?
Yeah.
Well, let's hope so. All I'm saying is that almost anything.
Yeah.
Ordered from one of those Chinese mail order companies. You just better cool your jets on delivery time, because you don't know. No, but I will say, I just ordered that Fimi Palm and it's already shipped according to Gearbest. So you got a good point, Bill. Maybe they will ship it right away.
But Mark, you have a good point too. When we went for our Zino 2s, when some people had them, I think you were absolutely right. They said our Zino 2s were still in the parts bin or whatever. They weren't even assembled. at the time we were hoping to get them shipped or whatever. So I mean, just and like you said, any answer that any of us say is all possibility. It's all wild card. If you're trying to make a living on predicting the supply chain of these Chinese companies like Fimi and Hubsan, whatever, you're probably going to go broke, Marcus.
Yeah, totally, Ron. Those comments, my friend, are spot on.
Yes, I agree 100% with you guys. That's just if you're looking to make a living, if you want to get a career off of that, you're not gonna do well.
But I do believe Bill's theory is correct. We talked about this the other night, maybe offline. I believe that Mavic Air 2. I don't think it'll be a supply and shipping problem with that, because I do like Bill. I will buy stock in it. They're already in warehouses somewhere in the U.S. on pallets or whatever. They were just waiting for that FCC approval, grants, and all that stuff. But I mean, when they pick a release date, those things are ready to go. That's my guess. That's just a rumor. My guess, totally.
Okay. Big B69 says, I ordered one a few hours ago. Now, Banggood shows you can't even pre-order it. 1190 pre-orders. My guess is they reached a threshold of 1,000, and they're just saying that's it. Okay, that they're shutting it down, which makes sense. Okay. Now the other thing, and this is something I want to throw out, and I know Ron and Marcus have heard about this too. I received in Facebook Messenger from I'm guessing from Banggood, and it's one of their sales reps, and he contacted me, and he said, "How would you like a coupon to be able to advertise to buy it for $299?" Okay, and I'm going like, oh my gosh! I said this is even getting crazier. Okay, you thought $348, $350 was a good deal. Save another $50. Okay, this is going from good to better to best kind of a thing. So if that happens, I'll get that out there and I'll advertise it. Now, I'm going to pose the question to Banggood is, what about for those of us that ordered it and paid $350 for it? Are we going to get another $50 back? So who knows what the answer is for that? Go ahead, Marcus.
Hey, so Bill, just while you were talking, I went on the Fimi website, or the Banggood website, just to confirm what's going on there. And if you click on the U.S. warehouse, that is correct. You can no longer pre-order. So my guess is what you're saying is true, Bill. They ship so many of them to the U.S., and for all we know, they are already in that warehouse ready to ship. Now, if you click over to the China warehouse, you can indeed still pre-order, although it is at a higher price. It's at the price is $459. So if you use that coupon, I don't know if it would work, but it would get you 20% off of that. So I would say that we're correct in that the days of the $347 Fimi XS SE are probably past us now, unless, as you are hoping, Bill, and me too, that individual that got a hold of you, maybe they're coming out with a new coupon and they have another batch at
And Marcus, even if you had to order that from China for $299, that would still be a tremendous opportunity. Correct?
Boy, no kidding, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, $299. I mean, seriously, the thing, and they were talking about it on my Facebook group, is that they've heard rumors. Some people have heard some rumors that the X8 SE 2020 from China is already shipping. Okay. That it's not just a pre-order, that they are actually shipping those. So, but again, you're ordering it from China. It's probably going to take 3 weeks to get here, and you order it here from the U.S. Even with standard shipping, you probably get it in 4 days. I mean, it's like, and like I said, I think it's going to be sooner rather than later. Trust me. I think this. I'll go out on record and say this. I'll be surprised if they don't ship before the end of this month. I really do. That's just a gut feeling that I have right now. That's just where I'm at.
Dude, I'm on your side. I'm hoping.
Oh, I know. And Ron's sitting there. Ron's getting ready to hit he says, you know what? we're going to be talking about that Mavic Air 2. And he says, man, he says, you know, I have to get dueling thumbs out here, dual buy buttons at the same time here. Okay. Kind of a thing. You know, that's where we're at. Well, Lauren's not here to join us tonight. We're going to kind of flip gears here. All right. You know, the Mavic Air 2, it's hot, and it's hotter than hot. And the news is coming out left and right and fast and furious and everything. And I'm going to go ahead, and there's an article. As you all know, you know, Hey Kesselu's no longer with Drone DJ, and he's with XL Drone. That's the name of his new outfit. Now, we're going to go ahead and actually Drone XL, I'm sorry. Do is go ahead and share the screen here. Now, this article just came out, and it says April 27th confirmed again. Breaking news, DJI confirms launch on April 27th, introduction to DJI Mavic Air 2. You know, please note, now this was a note apparently to a select group of recipients. Hope you're all staying healthy, safe, and sane throughout what's going on. I'm reaching out with some exciting news from DJI under embargo. If interested in learning more, please agree to adhering to its verbal NDA. We can set up some time this week to brief you on the announcement. Please note that all information regarding this email is held under embargo until April 27th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so that pretty much just lays it out for you, okay, that it's going to happen. Now, you know, he goes in and he kind of pontificates here a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and bring up another article that he wrote that talks about this. And, you know, he says the Mavic Air 2 available in all colors as long as it's gray. Single and a fly more combo, and the fly more combo is going to be the usual extra batteries and bag and probably charger. Official launch and official Mavic Air release date is scheduled for April 27th. DJI will start shipping to customers around May 11th, and dealers should be able to order slightly before the official release date. Now, what's real interesting here, and Hey talks about it right here. Normally, DJI would invite press and media people to a location in New York City. However, with the city being a corona hotspot, this would be a bad idea. So interesting to see how DJI will do it this time, 100% online product launch. And I want to stop, and that's the first thing I want to talk about. Gentlemen, the Mavic Mini, it was 100% online product launch, okay? There was no event in New York City, anywhere. It was out on the webpage, okay? And, you know, we've talked about this before, and I know the three of us have talked about it, where, you know, it is advantageous for them, especially, well, obviously, you know, with COVID-19 going on, that wasn't even going to be a thought. But even if it was going on, okay, they can still get the same kind of exposure and just do everything, just doing it online and doing what they call those soft launches, okay? Because, okay, these products, DJI products sell themselves, okay? You don't have to, you know, you don't have to stand up there and have Michael Oldenburg doing what he did for the Mavic 2. And in fact, that's the last drone that was actually launched at a launch event, okay, was the Mavic 2, okay? Everything else that DJI has done, well, they actually did the Osmo Pocket was done at a launch event, but that was a really small one. I mean, really small event. But everything else, I mean, it's all been online. The RoboMaster's been online. The Mavic Mini's been online.
Let me slow your roll down for a minute. I mean, I know they've had new prize drones, but after the Mavic, the Mavic 2 series of drones, the only drone they've released since then is the Mini, correct?
Yeah, it's been the Mini.
So all the other products, I mean, even though they're all interesting products, they don't have enough pre-interest and hype to probably draw a lot of people in for a big event. Would you concur?
Yeah, I would agree, Ron. I think, you know, it's not going to gain a lot of media attention. Although, you know, with the drone, and I just want to get your guys' feelings for this. When DJI announces a drone, it's always been a big deal, okay? And look how good the Mini's done, all right? And they went to a different platform, and it's like Lauren has said, you know, they can't keep them in stock. I mean, they're still selling well, and it's going on what? We're getting from April into May right now. I mean, it's like how many months out?
Well, we're almost 6 months in, right, Bill?
Yeah. I mean, it's an incredible amount of time. I mean, you know, when at first launch, it was like it was like everybody was grabbing them left and right. And I figured, a couple of months, you'd be able to see them at Best Buy and everything. You still can't even go into Best Buy and buy one. Okay. You have to order it.
Well, to your point, Bill, is a good thing. They didn't waste a lot of money on some kind of big fancy event or whatever because they didn't need it. Just as you point out, you still can't get it in Best Buy or whatever. They're still selling like hotcakes. So they would have wasted their money on some event to hype up the interest because they didn't need to. And I think going forward, I'm going to let Marcus get his point in. Going forward, the only events we'll see from them is on their flagship products, like say the Mavic 3 or whatever. We won't see events on non-flagship products. Marcus?
Ron, so I was just about to say what you just said exactly. So if we think about the Mavic 3, when that comes out, hey, it is a more expensive product. It is more of a flagship product, has no question bigger margins, so they can afford to do an event with that. And as both of you said, there probably isn't a need. There's a lot of pent-up demand. I mean, just look in the chat here. There's a lot of demand for that Mavic that's coming. That's going to be released on the 27th. So they probably don't need to have an event. The other lesson here is, I believe, if you want one, make sure you order on that release day or on the announcement day, because the people that waited for the Mini, often many of them, not all, but many of them got in a queue and waited much longer even than we had to for the Mini. And Bill's point that he made yesterday on ZinoNation is important too. Also, pay attention to Best Buy because Bill snookered all of us on that first Mini deal. He ordered off of Best Buy and he got his drone on the release day. So, couple of different ways to think about that.
Hey, I make a correlation, but between the Mavic, the DJI products and stuff. Like look at Apple when they release an iPhone, which is their version of like the Mavic 2 or 3 series, they have a big event and people there. But when they release a new iPad or whatever, there's no event. It's just there or whatever. They just released, even during the virus, they released new iPads. Just a press release and it's on the site. They release some updates to their laptops or whatever. It's just there or whatever. You just go by. Their only event is for the flagship product, the thing that drives the company. The iPhone or whatever. Just like I think DJI, same way thing. The Mavic, the top Mavic level, Mavic 3, the top Mavic is what drives the company. Everything else is just, they're good, solid products, but they don't warrant an event. But yeah, I agree with you. Old Bill, nobody can outsmart Bill about getting to a product first. So I'm going to follow Bill's Best Buy lead maybe this time. But
yeah,
go throw it back to Bill here.
No, I was just going to say the same thing, Ron. I think when we're going to, and by the way, we might even do a simulcast on both channels, both on ZinoNation and on Bill the Drone Reviewer that night, because that's when it's coming out. So I think that would be an exciting event, and we'll work out details before that happens.
Bill, isn't that funny? It's at 27th at 9 p.m. the start time for ZinoNation.
Yeah,
maybe we'll take pre-orders on the show. You said Marcus and I and Bill your money or whatever, and we'll eventually get you a Mavic Air too.
That's right. After we let it sit in the bank for a couple of weeks and
draw a lot of nice fat interest on it.
Well, okay, you make a great point as far as the Best Buy is concerned here, Ron, and I think that's a good thing. And I kind of touched on it a little bit last night on ZinoNation. Stimulus checks are coming, and it's like I wish we, it's like I wish we didn't need to get these. Okay, I'll just say that for right now. But what a better thing to do than invest. When you spend your money, to spend it at Best Buy. Okay, because you're supporting an American company. I mean, they are an American company. Their headquarters is in Minnesota, and they've kind of had a resurgence as of the past couple of years. They got a new CEO in. He's done a lot of right things with them, and it's it's starting to be a fun place to go to again. It wasn't for a while, but now it is. And and they've done a lot of things right there. I mean, now they have curbside pickup at Best Buy. Did you guys know that? You park in a parking spot, Just like, you know, I can go to Publix, call a phone number, and boom, they're bringing me out my package. I don't even have to go in the store.
You can't go, around here, you can't go into Best Buy anymore. A customer can't walk in the store. You can only pick up.
That's crazy.
Because of the virus, yeah.
Because of the virus, yeah. I mean, that's kind of the way it is. And, you know, I mean, even normal, they would do that. But now it's kind of nice. And, you know, what makes it even nicer is, you know, they can throw it in the back of the bed of my pickup, which is kind of nice. And we've had them.
You don't even have to touch it. Yeah.
Don't even have to touch it till we get home, you know, and take gloves out and do the whole disinfecting kind of thing. But, you know, that would be one of the primary areas that I would look at first when you're considering to purchase this, is for those U.S. customers here who are U.S. people who are in the chat, is to look at Best Buy, or maybe, you know, in your country, look at a big box retailer that carries DJI products and see if they have it in stock. Because, you know, we went out there, and I'll kind of relay this story with the Mavic Mini, and, you know, we're all excited, we're getting ready to order, you know, and I know both Ron and Marcus and I were online, and we're hitting, and I initially ordered it from DJI, and then I saw the shipping time frame, and I'm like, holy crap. I said, I can't wait that long to get it. I says, because it's coming out on I think it was the 11th. I think it was Veterans Day, okay, that it was actually supposed to be in the stores. And then I went out real quick on a whim. I said, you know what, I'm going to check Best Buy. And I checked Best Buy, and it says product will be available for in-store pickup and I said, done. So I went out immediately, okay, I canceled my order from DJI. I got the cancellation in time, and then I went out to Best Buy to get it. Well, I'm going to do the reverse this time, okay? Instead of going out to DJI first, I'm going to go out to Best Buy first, because, you know, having that pickup, well, here now, not only having in-store pickup, but if you have it scheduled for delivery, it should be delivered that day, all right? I would rather go to the store and have them do the pick up and bring it to you kind of thing than that. But, you know, that's 6 of one, half dozen the other. What are you guys' thoughts about that?
Hey, Bill, real fast, we got a good question in the chat here from Canadian Drone Pilot. He said, what is the dollar prediction for the Fly More kit for the new DJI Mavic Air 2 drone?
Now, that's a real good question. Now, I know Lauren has, and I know, and someone posted maybe Lauren's under NDA, and that's why he's not with it. And it could very well be. But he had mentioned like $799 for like just the base kit. Yeah. And, you know, as Hay alluded to in his article, expect to pay a couple $100 more. You know,
you think $999 for
$999? It'll be under 1K. And I almost always, if you can afford to get that Fly More kit, to do it. And it's not so much more for that case that's going to come with it. The case is quasi-functional, the ones that come with it, okay? But what the big value for that is the extra batteries that you get, the charger that you would get with that, and you probably get extra props, maybe prop guards and some other things. But I think the big thing is the batteries and that charging brick that you get with that, and the charging hub. I think that's worth it, because to go out there and individually buy the batteries and buy that charging hub, you're spending more money that way. So
true. But another thing, besides just the value, whatever, sometimes again, I don't know what the strategy here is, but sometimes if you order the Fly More kit, it comes later.
True. And that's what happened in, well, you know,
the Mini, right?
Well,
the base Mini came faster than the Fly More kit, even though it was the opposite on the Zino too.
Mm-hmm. Now, what I did was I did get the Fly More kit, and it came in on the date it was supposed to at Best Buy. Okay. Because, you know, now I remember exactly what was going on. The base kit was available immediately from DJI, but the Fly More kit you had to wait on. And I'm like, okay, no, I'm not doing this with DJI. So I went to Best, boom, done right away. And the beautiful thing is they take PayPal, which is, and if you guys, just as an FYI for everybody out there, no matter what drone you're buying, wherever you're buying it, try to buy with try to look for a place that will do PayPal. I mean, you know, if you have issues, I mean, it's even better than a credit card company, because they are very pro the consumer. Okay. You know, they will 9 times out of 10, you won't have problems. I'm not saying they're perfect, but you know, it's a great resolution, especially when you're dealing with international companies, okay, that may not, you know, honor credit cards and all that stuff. PayPal is international, okay? So anyway, okay, off that part. I want to talk a little bit more about the drone, okay? Now, some of the pictures that had surfaced recently, and I know on Drone XL, showed the battery compartment, and we got to see a good top of the drone. Now, we didn't see a top sensor on that drone, so that leads everybody to believe that there's not going to be 360 obstacle avoidance on this. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I think you're probably right. It's so hard to predict what DJI is going to do, but because some of those guys that have been right in the past are saying that, Bill and Ron, I would tend to agree with it. Here's what I want to know is, we're all, of course, hoping for something other than Wi-Fi on that drone, hoping that it'll be, if not OcuSync 2, some version of OcuSync, or some sort of Wi-Fi on steroids. So that we hope for. Also, we know it's going to have the receiver version of ADS-B, and I can't remember what DJI calls that, Bill. They got a name for it, for their version of it, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
I think it's called AirSense.
AirSense. There you go.
Yeah.
AirSense.
But the thing that I've said this before, and you guys know it, there is going to be something on that release that's going to blow our mind that we haven't even thought of, that they are going to put into that drone. And is it some new kind of obstacle avoidance or something? Who knows? Well, I guess we'll have to wait until the 27th to find out.
And I know Marcus has said this before, and it's worth repeating because it's all the time. When the Mavic 2 series comes out, okay, they hit us with not one but two models, okay, the Pro and the Zoom, okay. Nobody saw that coming, all right. And I think a lot of the hindsight in that was when the Anafi came out, all right, because they wanted to be able, and it was very easy swap for DJI to put in a different camera system, and boom, it was done, okay. And they did something we didn't even think of with that, all right. Whereas,
yeah,
here they're going to do that too.
Hey, I'm going to answer your question, but real fast, I want to highlight Michael Wright said he just checked, and Best Buy has the Air for the old Air for $599. I read you could even get the old Air cheaper than that now. So different retailers are apparently dumping the Mavic Air 1 now. So that leads more credence to what we're talking about. But I want to answer Bill's question before I never get to it. But he asked about the sensors not being on 360 on top, and that leads credence to me that maybe we will get that $799 price point, because if they're going to release it for $799, we can't get everything we want. Something has to go or whatever, and that has to be 360 obstacle avoidance sensors. I can live with that if they keep the price down. And also too, they probably want to say the 360 obstacle avoidance for their top of the line model. They probably don't want to let that filter down too low in the food chain also. But I think it's more that if they want to keep that $799 price point, they have to make sacrifices. And I'd much rather sacrifice the sensors than the OcuSync. So
I agree.
What do you think, Bill?
And here's the thing. And I know we kind of talked about this, and a lot of people in the chat last night, and I know when we talked with Al last night, it was almost unanimous that it has to have some kind of OcuSync or Lightbridge or some other kind of non-Wi-Fi technology in it. And I will say this, and I said it last night on ZinoNation, and I'll say it here on this again. I'm about 99.9% sure it's going to have that on there, because DJI would shoot themselves in the foot if they were coming out with a Wi-Fi drone like this. Everybody's going to go, oh no, not again. Well,
my watch is right back in my back pocket again if it's a Wi-Fi drone.
Well, and I know Marcus made a good point last night. All right, with the improved Wi-Fi on the Mavic Mini. All right, and that is worth noting here. But I think people are expecting an up from the Mavic Mini in this case. Go ahead, Marcus.
Yeah. So the feature that they have shown in some of the pictures that I am hoping alludes to something else is that new controller. What I'm hoping is that this drone, like you said, Bill, is available with OcuSync 2, and you can buy it with the smart controller.
At a much higher price. Yeah. And for somebody like Marcus, who already owns a Mavic 2 series drone, OcuSync 2, he is a smart controller that works 2 drones. But we talked about Bill's, OcuSync guarantee, and why that's so important is not necessarily for Marcus and me, which fly in rural areas. We could take a Wi-Fi drone out pretty darn far. But our friend Philly Drone Life, who's in the chat right now, I want to shout out. We're going live right after this show with the Philly and Ron show, whatever. That's my shameless promo in there. But Mike, a Wi-Fi drone doesn't do him any good because he's in a city where there's a million Wi-Fi hotspots around him, and he can't even get to the end of the block with a Wi-Fi drone. Marcus and I may be able to fly that drone a mile out, but he can't get down the block. So that's why the OcuSync 2 is so important. And Bill right now has got the leaked or rumored Mavic Air 2 controller up on the screen. Bill, take it away.
Yeah, you look at the controller, and like Lauren pointed out, what's it look like? And the first thing you hit, it looks like a smart controller without the screen. I mean, really, seriously, you think about it. It's almost the size, everything. It just screams that it's the smart controller. I mean, it really does. And, just everything about that. I just, it was good that I'm glad I'm glad Hay had that on here, and then just, I'm going to go up here and we're going to take a look here. You can see, obviously there's a sensor on the back, on the bottom here.
Yeah, one of those is an LED, right, Bill? It looks like.
Yeah, one of those is an LED right there. So, so it's going to have
Bill, is that guaranteed not to have the Hubsan drop?
It's guaranteed not to have the Hubsan drop or your money back. No. And here's the battery compartment here, and it shows this is the FCC approval on this, which is interesting.
So okay, Bill, what's your prediction of the battery? Do you think they'll quote like a 30-minute flight time?
I think we'll get a 30-minute flight time on this too, which will,
if a 30-minute flight time with that'll be an actual 25 minutes or
so. 25, which I'll tell you what, and think about it. And we talked about this last night on the Fimi X8 SE 2020, having 25 minutes. And I think Al was talking about this. I mean, he said, 25 minutes for him is the world, okay, for what he shoots. And Al's right. For most of us, having a 25, 30 minutes on a drone, being able to have it up in the air, I mean, seriously, what can't you capture in 25 minutes? Okay. It's like Marcus, for example, you go up to the Snake River, you're going down, you're going to eat up battery. Okay. Because the scenery up there is just drop dead gorgeous. All right. Of course you want to run that thing down there like that. And you're going to need a lot of battery to do that. But some of the videos that Marcus shoots, I'm just like, okay, I want to get on a plane, after coronavirus is over, and I'm going to be knocking on his door. And I said, I got 20 batteries with me. Let's go, pal. To shoot that, it's just like, it's so good. I mean, it's so, so 25 minutes, I think, as far as a battery life is concerned, I think that's fantastic. I really do.
Especially at an under $1,000 price point, it certainly is. Hey, I want to shout out, we got Ray Kelly in the chat with us tonight. Ray Kelly is one of the top Mavic Mini pilots down there in South Florida on the East Coast there. He flies all over around Palm Beach or whatever. So big shout out to my buddy Ray.
Yeah, Ray, it's definitely a shout out to you. And when this whole pandemic thing is over, I'll come over your side, you come over my side. We'll have some fun on the beaches here. So with our drones, I think that would be a good thing.
How about Floyd Moats? He hopes the Mavic Air 2 uses the DJI Go 4 app. He can't use his Crystal Sky on the DJI Fly app. Bill, we never talked about that before. Is it a guarantee that this will use the standard Go 4 app, or you think they may move this over to the Fly app also? Nobody's talking about this.
That's really, and that's why would have been nice to have kind of pinged Lauren and kind of got some of his thoughts on this. The Fly app is great, and I'll tell you that. And I think we all talked about this, and I know Marcus and I have both of us have the same pet peeve, is the lettering. Sometimes when you have a white sky up there, you can't.
Yeah.
Okay. But other than that, for me, the Fly app, it's easy, it's intuitive. The menus, because in the Go 4 app, if you remember, and Floyd, the Go 4 app, you have to go into submenus to find things, all right? And it's not always like right there at the tip of your hand, whereas on the DJI Fly app, it's like right there. I mean, you don't really have to go down into submenus to find things, which I think is great. And I hope it was a model for future DJI apps. I don't know. I think that's a great question. But for me, what I think, this is just my gut feeling, I think they're still going to go with a Go 4 kind of an app. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Hey, so I just wanted to throw one caveat on what you just said, Bill, with regard to the Fly app. And like you, I really like it for the simplicity of it and the ease to get to some things, not everything. Some things you do have to drill down. But because the Mavic Mini doesn't have a lot of specialized functions, it can use a stripped down app like that. And I think as you get into the more full featured drones, it's tough for DJI to do that. I'm not saying that the app couldn't be organized better, but that's just a point. So who knows? And another version, an improved version of the Fly app for this new drone would be welcome, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. Just as you said, Bill, as long as they change the color of that lettering at the top, make it black, make it red, make it anything but
anything.
White.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stephen Ewing.
Back to Floyd's point, though. He doesn't want the Fly 2 app because of not being able to use the Crystal Sky. And also, if we're hoping for a smart controller, we don't know if the Fly app works on the smart controllers. That was kind of his point. That it's not the Fly app versus the DJI Go 4 app. Which one's better? It's because of compatibility issues. It was Floyd's main concern.
That's a good point, Floyd. Thanks for bringing that up.
That's why Ron gets paid the big bucks. I'm just telling you.
That's right.
Floyd's my main man. Floyd and I have been working together for a couple years here in the drone business, so Floyd sets me up with the good questions.
Yeah, Floyd does. He does a good job with that. Okay. Well, it's like one of the other things that I wanted to talk about here is this. I see this. It's once again, and this is something, and I want to ask you guys this question here is, it fits. DJI is a genius with their marketing. Okay, there's no question about that. Okay. And Frank Wang, when you find out things about him, one of the things that he's always done is he doesn't want to be second. He always wants to be number one, and he wants DJI to always be number one in whatever area they're at, and with consumer drones. Okay, so the Spark gets replaced by the Mavic Mini. Okay, the Mavic Pro gets replaced by the Mavic 2. Okay, I'm just going to talk consumer drones here for a minute, and then I'm not going to go to the Phantom series. But then there's that gap, and the Mavic Air was good, okay, but it needed a lot of improvements, okay, and we all know what the big thing was, the Wi-Fi and the sounded like a freaking hornet's nest, okay. And again, I know my friend Ian over he lives in Southeast UK, in England. He said he sold it simply because he couldn't stand the noise. Okay. It had nothing to do with the Wi-Fi. That noise just drove him nuts. Okay. So, once again, and like Marcus said, they're going to come out with something in this that we haven't talked about. All right. That's going to be something that you want. It's kind of like, it's like Steve Jobs was famous for that. Okay. He put things on the iPhone that you didn't know you wanted until you had it, and then you said you can't live without it, kind of a thing. Okay, and that's the same kind of, and I love that. Okay, I think that in a owner of a company, I think that's fantastic, and it makes you really appreciate the technology that they put into this. One of the things I'm really looking forward to is this ADS-B or the Airsense that's going to be in there, because I'll tell you what, guys. I actually saw it in use. It was on a Matrice, okay, a Matrice 200. I actually saw it in use. It was on a Crystal Sky. But I'll tell you what, you could see everything, all right? And now what's real interesting, back at the time, that was only on commercial craft.
I was about to ask you, will this be the first consumer price drone that had that feature, Bill?
Yes.
Okay.
And the other interesting thing about this, a lot of people don't, you don't know. I get emails all the time from the FAA. I signed up for emails from them, and I have to wade through them sometimes. But one of them is this. as of January 1st of this year, all aircraft, okay, even your Cessnas, 150s, everything had to have an ADS-B transceiver on it and receiver, both, okay? So your private aircraft now, and that includes helicopters, everything has to have ADS-B transceiver and receiver on it, okay? That was mandated, and the FAA came out. That was a year ago that they said that, and they gave you a year to come up to standards. And January 1st, it has to be. And if your aircraft, it'll fail an inspection if it doesn't have that, okay? So what that means basically is when I'm out in the backyard and I throw that Mavic Air 2 up in the air and I'm looking on there, I'm going to see not only commercial aircraft that are up there, I'm going to see these small private Cessnas and Beechcrafts and helicopters, anything that's up in the air, I'm going to see. And it's, and a lot of times, and I know both you guys are like this. And, I'm looking this way, looking up, before I take off, even though, it shows that I'm clear where I'm at. But, invariably, I'll hear a plane in the area, and it's just like, all of a sudden I stop my sticks and I'll go down about 50 feet. And I'm just like, where is it? I can't see it, kind of a thing. Well, there's going to be no more guesswork with that, guys. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, exactly right, Bill. I mean, my ears are one of my best resources when I'm flying my drone. I don't know about you guys, but anytime I hear the faintest sound of an aircraft, my head is on a swivel looking around for where it's at. And if I don't see it, or I think even it could remotely be close, I'm pulling down on that left stick hard. So ADS-B, that receiver, is going to be great, because then there's absolutely no guesswork at that point. You're going to know every aircraft that's in your area.
I agree. I think it'll be, interesting to have, for sure, and a safety measure. But also, Bill, what I'm wondering is, with them adding ABS2 or whatever, they make the drone more secure. Maybe the Mavic Air 2. I keep getting these names. I gotta make sure I say them right. Maybe this will be the first drone made that maybe it'll be able to kind of pass the new FFA rules, which you haven't talked about because of the coronavirus. But after they get adjusted down a little bit, maybe this drone will be compliant enough that you can still fly this drone in 3 years. Any thoughts?
That's a real good. Once again, Marcus, we're with the man down here. Okay, we're with the man. He always comes up, yes, with these brilliant things here. I gotta point my fingers right. Let's see if I get it right. There we go. There we go.
I heard this brilliant idea in the chat someplace.
But no, Ron brought, and it's an excellent point. And I think it is. I think it is the kind of drone that's going to be new rule worthy, for lack of a better term. And I'll say this, okay. And I'm just going to throw this out here. I'm wondering if the FAA is going to maybe kind of like take a step back on all this stuff after everything that's happened and say, you know what, let's just kind of chill on this for a while and just kind of like just put this to the back burner.
And maybe DJI already kind of has, an inside, somebody there that they already maybe know that the FFA may, get pushed back to the point where maybe the I can't say it. What? Say I can't say the number.
ADS-B.
Yeah, maybe they already know that this may be enough to keep that drone flight worthy in 3 years. Maybe DJI knows, more than we do about how the proposed FFA rules are going to be, are going to kind of, roll out, how they're going to roll out after all the comments and stuff. Again, this has all been, we've been pushed the whole conversation to back burner with the coronavirus. And I'm sure that there's, all the politicians are involved in this. They're too busy back in their own states worrying about the coronavirus to have this be on the forefront anymore. But I'm just saying, maybe DJI knows something we don't, and that's why this drone's coming out as the FFA rule beater drone.
And Ron brings up a good point here. It's like there is so much that's going on right now that, it's probably the last thing on any lawmakers' minds, and it's probably the last thing on the FAA minds right now is to come out with something like this. Okay, because in the area that which I'm in, all right, the way things are for us, it's really kind of frowned upon, unless you're going outside to check the mail, take the dog outside, that kind of thing, they don't even really want you being outside where I'm at. Okay, that's the consensus around here. So we've been trying to follow that. And getting outside is not what it used to be right now. Okay, there are people that aren't following it, but for the most part, that's why I haven't been flying my drones as of late. That's why you haven't seen a Zino 2 first flight video, because of that right now. So I'm just kind of waiting. It'll probably be a couple of weeks, but I'll get out there and get that first flight in. But we need to kind of it's good. It's going to happen sooner rather than later, and we'll be looking at it in a different light. Okay, here's the last question on the Mavic Air 2. All right, and this is my question. All right, now last night I asked the question of the panel. Said, would you sell your Mavic Mini for the Mavic Air 2? And the consensus was a big no. Okay, across the board, including me. I wouldn't do that. Okay, now here's my question: which drone would you sell to help pay for the Mavic Air 2?
Oh, dude, I got so many drones, and the problem is I love them all. That's the thing. I do. I mean, it's hilarious. Yeah, that'd be tough. Okay, I got one though.
Okay.
Yeah, let me get it here. The Eachine EX4. I would gladly get rid of that drone.
Ron, how about you?
I this winter I got my my Phantom 4 standard out, and I flew it, and it flew great. I got some good video and pictures, but I've been kind of wanting to move that on, and I have been held back by putting eBay, thinking, well, nobody's got any money. I don't want to put it up now. I'll get the lowest price ever. But Bill tells me different, so we're going to say the Phantom 4 standard. But I have a question for Bill, though. This is good, and it can get back to Marcus. So we're going to have two questions floating around here. Okay, now if the Mavic 2 Air comes out, and it's all great, but it has Wi-Fi instead of OcuSync 2 or OcuSync anything in it or whatever. For me, my wallet goes back in the pocket again, and I'm sitting on the sidelines waiting for the Mavic 3 this summer. What about you guys' plans for the Mavic 3?
No, that could happen, Ron. So listen, it's just what you said. If it's just another Wi-Fi drone, if there isn't something really intriguing on there that we don't already have on current drones that we own. For instance, we all three of us have a version of the Mavic 2, right? Well, what an awesome piece of equipment that is. And if this new Mavic isn't in some way an improvement or an addition to that, you might not buy it, right?
Yeah.
My controller would push me into it easy.
Yeah. Well, another thing, if this has OcuSync, why would I get rid of the Phantom 4 for the Mavic Air 2? Outside of size, the Phantom 4 standard's probably going to be as good or better than the drone than this Mavic Air 2. The old Phantom 4 has 25 minutes of flight time. It has light bridge, so it's going to go farther than any Wi-Fi drone. It's got 4K 30. Yeah, maybe the Mavic Air 2 have the 4K 60, but I don't get all excited about the 60 frames per second. And they're going to say that the Mavic Air 2's camera is better, but I bet you if I put the video side by side, 95% of the people couldn't tell the difference or whatever. So that 3-year-old drone, or maybe better than 3-year-old drone, may be almost as good as Mavic 2 Air coming out if it doesn't have OcuSync 2. Bill?
Okay. Well, here's what I'm going to say. All right. First of all, if I had to sell a drone, all right, right now, it would be tough, but I would do the Phantom 4 Pro V2.0. And the reason I would do that is, for me, it's portability. Okay.
No.
Say it ain't so, Bill. And I thought that was the best video drone. There's no way this Mavic Air 2 can hold a candle to that Phantom 4 Pro V2 in any category except size.
Except size, okay, and that's the only reason I would say that.
You have two other very portable drones, the Mini and the Mavic 2 Pro. That you already have two super portables.
Okay, but here's this, and I'm not going to sell it. Just to kind of let everybody know, you're still going to see Phantom 4 Pro V2.0 videos for a long time.
I got first dibs on the sale.
Okay, What I would do is this, and I know. Well, Ron, you have to you ping me your account number, and I'll get it to you. All right, Mavic 3, and I will go on record in saying this, and this is going to be my last question before we kind of have our closing thoughts here. Okay, would you sell your Mavic 2 Pro or Zoom to get a Mavic 3 if Frank Wang has just knocked it out of the park and a total home run on it? Okay, and I'll answer this question first in a heartbeat. I'd sell my Mavic 2 Pro if the Mavic 3 is a home run knocked out of the park.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you, Bill. Yeah, if it had yeah, of course. Yep.
Let me ask Bill, before I bet my answer, I want to ask Bill one thing. What is the home run feature of the Mavic 3 that's going to make me sell my entire collection here to buy it? What is the the home run feature? And Bill from Metro Drones, thanks for the super chat, buddy.
Oh yes, thank you, Bill from Metro Drones. Appreciate
Bill, what is the what can this possibly have that's going to make me put everything up on eBay?
I'll call Frank Wang up and I'll let you know, Ron.
Because we're okay. It can't have bigger than 1-inch sensor camera, right? They're not going to put a 2-inch sensor on it, are they? Or
right. It's not going to do that. Here's what here, and this is just total speculation. This isn't even hearing anything from Lauren, anything. Okay. For me, what I think is going to happen is I think with the Mavic 3, what you're going to see there, okay, you're going to see things like you're going to have a zoom on it. And you're going to have all the capabilities that you had with the Phantom.
Zoom with a 1-inch sensor.
Phantom 4 Pro V2.0 with a 1-inch sensor. Basically, it's going to be a Phantom 4 Pro V2.0 in a Mavic 2 body. And it's going to have 360. And the thing with this is, okay, with the 360 on our Mavic 2s, the side sensors only work when you're turning different modes on, okay? It's going to have 360 all the time is my book.
And the kind of brains of a Skydio too, that the obstacle avoidance brain power of a Skydio too. Wow, that would be more than a home run.
Yeah, and it would be a done deal. But you know what, I'm going to ask Frank, and when he gets back to me, I'll send you guys emails and let you know.
You tell Frank if he does that, I'll put the whole collection on eBay or whatever, and I'll be a one drone man, and I'll fly that drone. Every day I got clear skies.
That's right. Okay. You know, it's like, and you know, we need to come down to Reddington Beach here and do the pier again. Okay. And Ron will come down here with the Mavic 3, and we'll get Marcus down there too. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, guys, we're going to kind of wrap things up here because it's 5 after 9 here Eastern time. So yeah, the coach is going to turn into a pumpkin here real soon. But anyway, just some closing thoughts tonight. Marcus, take it away.
Yeah, so gee whiz, I hope to get out. We're going to have some decent weather here, and of course, I can't go very far. I can go to the school grounds next door to me and fly a couple drones. But I hope to get that Fimi X8, my 2018 version that I haven't fly it a little more. It's fun. I haven't flown that in a while, so I'm enjoying that. And also getting that Zino 2 out a little bit. And the drone that I have not flown in a while, I'm ashamed to say this, is my Mavic 2 Zoom. So I'm anxious to get it out again. And I do want to give that message that I give to everybody every time. Hey, let's all work our way through this COVID-19 crisis. Hopefully we're over the top of the hump now. Everybody is hoping that. But take care of yourself, observe social distancing and everything that our authorities are asking us to do. We all need to do it, and be kind to your fellow man. Let's all take care of each other and be nice to each other, not just throughout this thing, but we should be doing that always. And that's it. Ron.
Thank you, Marcus. Great thoughts, and thanks for passing those along. We had such an action-packed show tonight, Bill. We never talked about the Evo 2 and the rumors that they're all packed up and ready to go. They're boxed up in China, but that they can't be shipped because they're not considered essential electronics. I mean, it's just a rumor. It's been on a couple forums, but we didn't even get to talk about that day. And who knows, of all these drones we talked about, the Evo 2 Pro could be the best of the bunch.
Well, our good buddy, Mr. Candano, did an unboxing of his Evo 2 tonight.
The Pro?
The 8K model.
Oh, yeah. Well, nobody wants that thing. We need the Pro on this channel. but all joke aside, I'm glad Ken got it. I'll pop over and watch that when I get a chance. But yeah, everybody out there in chat, thanks for joining us tonight. Great comments, great questions. As I always say, I learned as much from you guys in chat as you do us on the show, whatever. And I want everybody to join us, to be safe out there, from practice your social distancing and everything. And hopefully we get through this sooner than later, and we're all outside, flying our new Mavic 2 Airs and our Evo 2s and our Fimi X8 2020s and any other drones that may happen to come down the pipeline. Marcus, did you get that? What's that drone you saw at CES? That funny little drone?
Oh, the V-copter?
Did you get the V-copter in yet?
No, okay. V-copter ordered here.
Yeah, Bill. What about? We didn't talk about the V-copter rumors.
No, we did.
There are none, folks. The V-copter may never show up or whatever. But that's a whole nother show. So I'm going to quit talking. Good night, everyone. Stay safe, and I'm going to throw it back to Bill to wrap this show up tonight.
All right. First of all, you need to go out and check our friend Mikey and Ron. They're going to be on Philly Drone Life right after us. So definitely head over there when you're done with us. Mikey, you're a great guy, and always, Ron joining him, it's going to be always a good time. So make sure you do that. Tomorrow night, our good friend Mr. Bill Thomas, Coast to Coast Drones, 8:30 Eastern Time. Ron's going to be on tomorrow night. But he's going to have John Coopy on, and going to be an FPV extravaganza tomorrow night. So if you want anything you want to know about FPV, John Coopy is the man as far as that's concerned, as far as I'm concerned, okay? John's head knowledge about FPV is off the freaking charts. So you definitely want to go in and tune in to Coast Drones tomorrow night. So with all that being said, all right, we're all going through a tough time. And I wanted to start off the show with a little bit of humor tonight. And if you didn't catch it, make sure you go back and watch the first 5. This is a pretty good meme, and I'll be sure to post it in my Facebook group and Facebook page. But Mr. Rogers had 3 rules in life for success: be kind, be kind, be kind. Okay. We're all going through this. This isn't something that's just hitting. It's not just like a hurricane hitting Florida or a bad snowstorm in New Jersey or in Idaho. Okay. This is a global. This is everybody. Everybody that can hear my voice is being affected by this. I had a good friend of mine from college pass away. I have a good friend of mine for high school right now. Just say a prayer. His name's Gene. He's fighting for his life right now, guys. He's in an intensive care unit with COVID-19. So say a prayer, some positive thoughts. I'm sure he would appreciate it. I was stunned to hear about that. So it doesn't discriminate, okay? And follow what your government tells you to do. If they tell you to stay inside, stay inside. They tell you, social distancing, wash your hands, do all this. I was reading today, and it's just I'll be real brief here. Okay. That on MedCram on YouTube, and it's a good channel to check out. This virus attacks both your immune system and your lungs at the same time. It's a 2-pronged attack. So, do things to build up your immunity. Take vitamin C, take vitamin D, take zinc, okay? And most of all, do the washing and the hands thing. We'll all get through this. We'll all get to the other side here, okay? That's the good thing. Hunker down. We'll get to the other side. And when we get through, we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to enjoy life again, okay? And we're enjoying life right now, okay? That's why I think these shows are so good, not only for you guys, but for us. We get to talk about drones for an hour and just totally escape what's going on in the world, okay? And I think it's fantastic. And I'm thankful, and also think about those who don't have jobs right now, and be mindful of them. And if there's anything you can do for them safely, please go out there and do that. Also, I'll ask you to do this. If you patronize local restaurants, okay, and if they have gift cards available, buy gift cards online. Okay. They would really appreciate it. Those mom and pop shops. Okay. They're depending upon us to come back to them after all this is over for their very survival and for jobs. Okay. This is what it's all about. All right. Well, I've said enough. I've stood on my soapbox long enough. Normally I always say, it's a great day to fly, but I'm going to close like I've been closing things with stay inside, stay alive. Good night, everybody.
Good night.